I'm proud of everyone in here. Because, man, it's never easy. It's never easy. And you know what? That's how life's going to be. But you get back up every time. Yes, sir. You never...
Bo, Buffalo's notoriously a really hostile environment. Offensively, what are the keys to thriving in an environment like that?
Well, it's good to start fast, get a few first downs early. Hopefully...
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of Shooting for the Stars podcast. You guys, with y'all's one and only host. Y'all guys already know. Yes. Cameron Williams. And as y'all guys can see by the title of this video, first, I just got to start off saying one thing and one thing only. Broncos country, stand up. If you're in Broncos country, Broncos nation, stand up. We are no longer in drought. We are no longer with bags over our head. Broncos country, we are riding. Now, this is what I call riding now, Denver. And I told people that, I said, you cannot this Broncos team. Everybody said it was going to win 2 games, 3 games, 4. I mean, just disrespecting us, saying this is going to be a rebuilding year, not just for this year, but for years to come over here in Denver. And the Denver Broncos, they have not been to the playoffs. They have not been to the playoffs since Super Bowl 50, which was in 2015 when they beat the Carolina Panthers, which was also, we all know, Peyton Manning's farewell game. The Broncos have missed the playoffs 8 straight years since then, and they are finally back. And in those 8 straight years of missing the playoffs, you guys, mark my words, the Denver Broncos have been in an absolute coaching carousel, hiring 20 different head coaches. I mean, a QB carousel, having 18 different starting quarterbacks. I mean, it's been living hell in Denver for the past 8 years, but we kept faith, we kept hope alive, and we said one day, we're going to get back to what this is. Because Broncos are a historic franchise. We're going to get back to that level of competing. And boy, it took a long time, Denver fans, but we are finally here. So if you're in Broncos country, before I get this video started off, you guys, everybody need to stand up if you're in Broncos country. And I'm going to be getting into it. I'm going to be getting into their season. I'm going to be breaking down also mainly their playoff wildcard matchup this Sunday at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock Eastern time against the Buffalo Bills, which will be held at Orchard Park. They'll be playing against the number 2 seeded Bills. I'm going to be getting into all that, you guys, man. Before I get into the video, y'all make sure to please give me a like, comment, and subscribe, you guys. We are on the road, and we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. I cannot say that enough, you guys. I need y'all guys' love and support to help me get there. And with that being said, enough talking. We do enough of that, and we gonna do enough of that. Let's get into the video. Let's talk Broncos football, baby. Let's go.
One eternity later.
So as we all know, the Denver Broncos last week, it was basically a win and get in scenario. They had to go up against the Kansas City Chiefs to get in, and boy, they blew them out, man. That wasn't even no game. I know many of y'all are gonna be like, Cam, calm down. Let's calm down now, buddy. The Chiefs didn't play none of their starters. God, it doesn't matter. A win's a win. I mean, the Chiefs, let's be honest. The Chiefs, they should, at the end of the day, tell y'all guys what, Chiefs took 2 losses on the year to the Buffalo Bills. And you know who the other team was? The Denver Broncos. That's who it was. And you rather the starters play or not, at the end of the day, these are professionals. These guys, the guys that are coming off the bench, these guys are getting paid to play at the end of the day. So, we'll take it where we can get it. But at the end of the day, that does not take away the fact that the Denver Broncos have gotten in the playoffs. Make no mistake about that. And first, I always want to give credit to Sean Payton. I want to give credit to head coach Sean Payton, man. I mean, the job that he did. And look, and I told Denver fan, and I know it looked ugly last year because you think about where it started. Sean Payton was acquired last year in the offseason. They traded a first-round pick to New Orleans to acquire him, and his main job was to come resurrect Russell Wilson to get him back to the quarterback that he was in Seattle, and it just was not a good fit. It wasn't a good marriage, and a lot of people were calling, and we were hearing a lot of things, people saying, man, this dude overrated, overhyped, too big of an ego. And I told him, I said, guys, let's calm down. Let us give this dude a little bit, because Russell Wilson was not his type of quarterback. Couldn't go through his reads, a one-readed quarterback, left pockets too early, never trusted the plays that he was calling. He just couldn't run Sean's offense, and that's fine. Sean Payton went in, handpicked this guy, and Bo Nix took him with the 12th pick in the first round, right out of Oregon. And it didn't look pretty starting off, but they're here where they deserve to be. And this is why I say Kevin O'Connell, great coach. Matt LaFleur, great coach. Dan Campbell, great coach. No doubt, there's nothing about it. John Harbaugh, great coach. But to me, that's why I say this man deserves to win Coach of the Year, because you look at the body of work, you look at what he inherited. Y'all, this job was a very tough job. A very tough job. Having to eat up $80 million in dead cap from Russell Wilson for moving on from him, and then having to tear down this whole team. They kept Cortland Sutton, and they got rid of Jerry Jeudy. They got rid of Justin Simmons. They got rid of a lot of guys. Basically got rid of a majority of the veterans and really bring in a young team full of studs, you guys. And really the only star, at least on paper, on this team was Patrick Surtain entering the year, cornerback PS2. And now people are like I said, there are some respected names now across this Denver Broncos team. And like I said, I got to give it to him, man. One heck of a job. Bo Nix, without a doubt, probably won't win Rookie of the Year. That'll probably go to the man up there in Washington and Landover, Maryland, and Jayden Daniels. But, one could argue, man, this dude should win MVP. And also one could argue that Patrick Surtain, cornerback, should win Defensive Player of the Year. Don't get me wrong, no disrespect. I understand sacks are fun. We love sacks, strip fumbles. We respect the guys like TJ Watt and Myles Garrett and Dexter Lawrence and guys like that, man. Cornerbacks got to get love too. I think Pat Surtain really could be, especially with a good performance this week, he could be the front runner to win Defensive Player of the Year. That'll be a topic for another day. But we're talking about the playoffs, baby. We're talking about the postseason. And before I get into the Broncos and Bills and stuff, like I said, in order to make this work for Denver, like I said this, look, a lot of Broncos fans aren't going to like it. And I said this, Sean Payton, he's one of those guys, he's one of those coaches. He's not like a Mike Tomlin or a Dan Campbell, a real players coach who's going to sit there and talk to his players and really motivate them and really hype them up. He's never really been one of those kind of sweet, one of those sweet coaches. Matter of fact, tell you what, Sean Payton actually the opposite. That man don't play. I'm going to tell you that now. And I say he's going to come in this locker room. He's going to weed out all the guys who he does not want and all the guys that is not going to match his culture. And he's going to restart the whole culture over here in Denver because it was all just messed up and all over the place. And buckets wild with Russell Wilson. You can't have that. And he knew that from the ground up. He got guys, look, it's either my way or the highway. Sounds harsh, but you got to have that mentality, man. And I love that from Peyton because I'm telling you something, that white man don't play. And all them players and all 53 and 65 guys and all them men in that locker room, they all know that white man don't play. And I said, he's been like that since New Orleans. He's gonna get the most out of you, but he's not gonna sit over there and it's not gonna be no, oh, you're gonna do this, you mess up, you're gonna expect to start. Like, no, it's not gonna be none of that. With this man right here, this man's gonna demand discipline. He's gonna demand your full undivided attention, and he's gonna demand your best each and every single day. And if you mess up, and right, if you're an offensive player or a defensive player, this man's gonna step up to you as a head coach and let you know about it. That's what the great coaches do. That's why the Denver Broncos needed a coach like this. They needed somebody hard like this. We haven't had somebody like this that holds accountability and that has and preaches accountability as the main standard since, I believe, Mike Shanahan. I mean, seriously, that was really the last time the Broncos have had a coach like that. And it took time. It didn't look pretty again, I say. But boy, the Denver Broncos, man, they finally got here. They got here and they're doing, and now they're in the playoffs again, rightfully so. But now, obviously, we all know about for the end of this video, we already know it's not about making the playoffs. It's about winning. It's about winning in the postseason, as we all know. I know y'all guys can attest to that. We're just not here just to say that we made it. We're trying to, even though the odds are against us, the whole world think we're going to get blown out. The goal is for us is to go up there to Buffalo, Orchard Park, and go up there and pull off the biggest upset on wild card weekend. And real quick, you guys, before I get into some numbers to know, for this game, for this wild card weekend, you guys, I will say, here's what I will say, you guys. I know the odds are stacked against us right now. I already know the Denver Broncos, we're not favored to win this week against Buffalo, the number 2 seed. Arguably, people would say the real number 1 seed team in the AFC conference. I do understand that. But here's the thing. This will be the biggest upset in wild card weekend if Sean Payton and Bo Nix, who is a rookie quarterback, goes to Orchard Park in that environment with those loud, rowdy fans, and for them to knock off that quarterback playing at that level will arguably, hands down, be the biggest upset in wild card weekend. Make no mistake about that. The biggest upset in wild card weekend. Again, I say, if they go up there in that tough, rowdy environment, in that tough, severe weather, even though Denver's cold itself, and to knock off that quarterback playing at that level, oh yeah, That'll be right there the biggest upset in Wild Card Weekend. Make no mistake about that. But, in order for Denver to do that, we know it's some key things to know in order for Denver to do that. And I'm going to be getting into them. As we all know, we have a top 5 scoring offense and the Buffalo Bills going up against the top 5 scoring defense in Denver. Now, I'm going to start off with the Bills this year. So we'll start off with the Bills. So as we all know, the Bills come into this game with a 13-4 record. They're second in points per game, and they've averaged 30.9 points per game. Really 31 if you add to the nearest 10. And the Bills offense, this is an interesting stat for me, you guys. From week 7 to week 17, the Bills have put up 24 plus straight points in their last 10 games, and they also set an NFL record as becoming the only offense, and yes, I say it again, the only offense to record 30 touchdowns rushing and 30 touchdowns through the air, which is a combined total of 60. That is in one season. That is unbelievable. So the Denver Broncos are definitely going to have their hands full. Make no mistake about that. As we all know, the James Cook, the running back for the Buffalo Bills, that was a 1,000-yard rusher this year, averaged 4.9 yards per carry, 16 total touchdowns, which is also top for first in the National Football League. So we all know that. And not only that, the Denver Broncos, this is another interesting one right here. The Denver Broncos, believe it or not, that defense, Vance Joseph, I tip my cap off to Vance Joseph, too, as the defensive coordinator. As we all know, a lot of people were calling for his job last year when he was the defensive coordinator underneath the Russell Wilson administration. Remember that game last year when Miami had the largest points in NFL history, went up there and they put up 70 on Denver? I mean, how does that happen? Denver couldn't stop the run. They couldn't stop the pass. 70 points? I'll still never forget that game. That was absolutely crying out loud embarrassing. Well, Vance Joseph seemed now that he has some young studs and young fresh legs now, he's gotten the most out of them this year. Make no mistake about that. The Broncos defense this year is third in allowed points. They've only allowed 18.3 points per game, and they had the third overall in their third overall defense when it comes to getting out the field on third down. Okay, make no mistake about that. Denver also led the league in sacks this season with 63 sacks, and they also had the third highest blitz rate throughout the National Football League this year. And it's going to be the team with who was number one at bagging the quarterback, going up against the team who's allowed the fewest amount of sacks on their quarterback. Yeah, that's right. The Buffalo Bills all season, they've only allowed 14 sacks all year. 14 sacks. Left tackle Deion Dawkins, he's only allowed 1 sack all year. And that comes from a combination of things. That's also, yes, a testimony to that offensive line, how great they are. Buffalo always has had a good, groundy, a real beefy offensive line, big boys that can block in the run game, block in the passing game. I mean, those are some big country, stocky boys, corn-fed, the word we use in the country. Okay? But make no mistake about that, though. But they're going to be tough. But it's also, again, to Josh Allen, because he's just so hard to get. Josh Allen is so hard to get because he's big himself, corn-fed. How many times have we seen him extend the play? That's going to be the difference maker right there. It's going to be to extend the play. And Denver's going to have their hands full this game, you guys, just simply off because, like I said again for this Denver team, they said they've been good against the blitz. Again, that number I brought up to you guys, they're third this year against the blitz. They're third in how many times they blitz. Okay? Make no mistake about that. But here's the thing, though, against Josh Allen. I wouldn't blitz if I was Denver this week against Josh Allen because Josh Allen, his stats this season against the blitz, he's 16-1 against the blitz. Yes, against the blitz this season, he's thrown 16 touchdown passes and also only just 1 interception. So there it goes with that. You can't blitz him because, yes, he can beat you over the top, and also he can also slip it out for a check down to James Cook or one of those guys over there on the receiving end, like Matt Collins or Dalton Kincaid, who leads the team in targets for them on the year. Keon Coleman, the rookie, with 551 receiving yards and that nature, and 4 touchdown catches. Okay, they don't have a 1,000-yard guy, but again, they've had guys, man, like I said, that can hurt you. Josh made Josh Allen so good. He's been able to really spread the ball around very effectively this season. Okay, and we have to give him that. He's been all world. I mean, make no mistake about that. And the Bills above average, and the Bills, what they're within now, I'm going to get into the Broncos offense now, you guys, and how they shape up against the Bills defense. As we all know, the Bills have been above average this year in points per game allowed. They're middle in the pack in the red zone, and they've been one of the worst teams at getting off the field on third down. Okay, they're 29th in the league on third down. Defensive-wise, they've not been good at getting off, but here's the twist. Here's the twist to this Buffalo team. The Bills, they are top 3 in turnovers forced, and they're top 5 in interceptions. And again, top 3 in fumble recoveries. So again, we can't turn over the ball. We can't do too much risky stuff. We have to play a one play at a time mentality. We can't let the pressure get overwhelm us. We can't force nothing. Can't nothing be forced, because I'm telling you, they force turnovers in that Bills secondary. I will say that they do force turnovers. Again, the blitz for the Bills game, like I said, Bo Nix, like I said, he's not gonna have to worry about 5-6 guys coming at him. Not the defensive coordinator's bringing no whole house. He's not gonna have to worry about Sean McDermott doing that too much, because one thing about the Bills, they don't blitz a lot. They're not really a high blitzing team. They have 39 sacks on the year. Greg Rousseau leads them in sacks with 8.5 sacks on the year. And Bo Nix, and as far as Bo Nix, man, like I said, he's coming off the game, man. Again, he's coming off a game. In his last 4 games, he's had two-plus touchdown passes. And guess what, you guys? In the last 7 games for Denver, the Broncos have had 24-plus points in their last 7 games. And again, I say for Denver, what they have also their defense, 6 Broncos that had 5 sacks or more this season. Of course, with Nick Bonito, who's became a Pro Bowler, who will be a first-time Pro Bowler this year. Nick Bonito, love him. Was a 5th-round draft pick. He led the team in sacks this season for Denver with 13.5. Zach Allen with 8.5. John Franklin Myers with 7. Jonathan Cooper, outside linebacker, with 10.5 sacks. And again, in this Denver secondary that Josh Allen will be facing, last thing, you guys, this Denver Broncos secondary that Josh Allen will be facing is no joke. They seriously, they've held quarterbacks this season to a low 80s rate on the year, under 7 yards per attempt. Pat Surtain, of course, is the leader of that group with a sub-60 rating through the air. And in 2024, the Denver Broncos are holding wide receivers to a mid-80s rate, which is top 5 good, for those who are wondering if that's good or bad. That is top 5 good, which is elite, an elite class, okay? And no one has been better at stopping tight ends at a 77.1% rate this season for the Denver Broncos secondary at holding tight ends. And again, I say, with the Bills team that distributes the ball a lot to everybody, Dawson Knox and Dalton Kincaid, they're 2 tight ends. They've combined for 781 receiving yards on the season. One of the 2 better tight ends in the league. And then against the run, again, I say Denver. For the Buffalo, this is a Buffalo's team. They're coming in thinking with this mentality that they're going to come run the ball all over Denver's throats and this, that, and the fourth. Well, they're going to have to work. The Denver Broncos, just as strong as they are in the pass game, we're even stronger in that run game. We're even stronger in the run game. And the Broncos have held running backs this season to 3.9 yards per carry, which is 3rd in the NFL. And they've held QBs, scrambling quarterbacks, to 4.4 yards per carry, which ranks us 14th. I mean, like I said, you guys, it's not too many weaknesses that we have here. Like I said, I know we're underdogs. I know we don't have a lot of names that, pop out to fans and stuff like that, but we're a gritty team. We're a gritty team, and we know, like I said, we know what's being said about us. We know the talks that, we shouldn't be here. We have no business here. Like I said, this is why we play the game. But with all that being said, you guys, it's going to be a tough one. I know y'all guys know it's going to be rowdy. And like, again, I said, the world's going to be against us. But you guys, I can see if Denver comes out there, if they listen to the coach, they follow the game plan, they're able to contain, you're not going to be able to stop elite players, but if they can contain Josh Allen for a significant amount of time throughout the duration of the game, if they're able to contain that run game, and we know what the secondary is going to do, this is generally, the Broncos secondary is generally a hard secondary to pass on. Again, I say, they've held offenses this season to a sub-80s rate this year. I mean, make no mistake about that. I mean, they're also good. They're also good at turnovers as well, forcing turnovers themselves. Like I said, they have the highest. They lead the league in points per game allowed on the defensive side, which is unbelievable. Like I said, this is going to be a tough game. I see it being very low scoring. We know it's going to be cold. The weather can play a factor, but it shouldn't play that much of a factor because Denver is just as cold as Buffalo. They're used to it, so that can cancel each other out. It's going to come down to who wants it more. You got 2 quarterbacks that love to extend plays, that make each player around them better, and it's going to come down to it, man. I can't wait to see it. It's going to be one heck of a game. It's going to be one heck of a showdown. And my prediction for this game, I'm going to go ahead and take, I got to say, I'm going to go ahead and screw it. I got to take Denver, man. I'm taking my team, man. I got to take Denver. Heck yeah, I got to take Denver. Broncos country, let's stand up. And Broncos country, let's ride. Again, I say, Broncos country, let's ride.
Broncos country, let's ride. Broncos country, let's ride.
All right, all jokes aside, but yeah, that's going to wrap up the preview, you guys. Again, give me the Denver Broncos to pull off the huge upset this week on Wild Card Weekend. I got us pulling this win off. 23-20. Got to be in a real close game, really close. I probably am. We're gonna be wrong, but like I said, you guys know you got to go for the underdog, man. I can't count on the underdog, and I sure can't count on a team led by Sean Payton, a guy who's been to the Super Bowl, a guy who's been to the mountaintop, a guy who knows how to win in the postseason, a guy who made Drew Brees the Hall of Famer that he was. Y'all guys hear me on that? Made Drew Brees. Drew Brees wouldn't have been the Drew Brees that we know if it was not for head coach Sean Payton. And yeah, like I said, I believe he's working out as we speak right now. He's getting the best game plan available for his team to go out there and compete this week against Buffalo. Like I said, we know it's going to be tough, man. It's going to be, like I said, with a stern coach like Payton, man, that counts. That matters because Sean McDermott's been on the hot seat. And I believe he can be on the hot seat if he does not get over the edge and lead this Buffalo team to the Super Bowl again because they're so used to coming up short. They've been coming up short. They've not been able to get over Kansas City. So that first, before they even get to Kansas City, they have to get by Denver first. It's going to be a tough game, but again, give me the Broncos to win it. Give me Denver to pull it out. It's going to be a tough, old-fashioned, gritty game. And yeah, that's going to be my prediction. And y'all guys let me know what y'all think. Y'all guys respond back. Y'all guys let me know who y'all got, the Buffalo Bills or the Denver Broncos this Sunday, wild card weekend, you guys. Y'all guys let me know all in the comment section down below. I'll be replying back to all comments, and I will see y'all. Y'all let me know what y'all want to hear next, and I will see you guys on the next episode on Shooting for the Stars podcast, you guys, with y'all's one and only host, Cameron Williams.